This
give this option.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay.
Okay, last time just I given some introduction regarding our technology, right?
Yes.
Yeah, here our technology is used to create OLEP system. Okay, we can build an OLEP system, online analytical processing system, using our technology. Okay, within that OLEP system, what we need to do, we need to build the semantic layer, okay, with set of logical models from the existing models are available in one or more data sources. Then publish those set of logical models derived in the semantic layer to the server. Once models that are published from the semantic layer to the server, then that models are available for reporting at presentation layer. That means there are two layers in our technology. One is semantic layer, another one is presentation layer. Okay, where we can build this semantic layer means using one of the tools available in our technology, that is Oracle BI administration tool. As a BI developer, use Oracle BI administration tool to build the semantic layer with set of models. Logically derive the new models using that tool, Oracle BI administration tool. Okay, Oracle BI administration tool is a desktop tool. It is a Windows-based desktop tool, allows to design new metadata models. Logically derive the new metadata models from existing models are available in one or more data sources. Okay, here data sources means either operational data sources or analytical data sources. Okay, operational data source means that data source directly coming from the OLTP system, online transactional processing system. Okay, OLTP system is an existing system. That system is designed for business processing, only transactions purpose. OLTP system is designed. If you are connected to the OLTP system to get your required information, that is operational data source. Okay, we can get the operational data from the OLTP system. Okay, here another one is analytical data source. Okay, analytical data source is also called as data warehouse. Sometimes we can work with data warehouse also. Okay, here from the data warehouse we can get the data that is already arranged in the analytical format. Okay, data already arranged in the analytical format. How that data arranged in the analytical format in data warehouse using ETL tools are like Informatica, DataStage, Ab Initio, Talent, various ETL tools are there. Use those ETL tools to build this sorry, 1 minute. To build the staging layer. Okay, they can build the staging layer for extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay, they can build the staging layer. Within that staging layer, use set of transformations to convert the data into analytical format and load that analytical data to the data warehouse. Okay, here using our technology, we can work with operational data source as well as analytical data source also. The operational data source has raw data. Here we are working with the raw data or customized data. From the data warehouse, we can get customized data. Okay, that is available in analytical format. Okay, if your data source is analytical data source, then here just we can arrange the data into end user readable format. That is enough in Oracle BI administration tool. Okay, if you are working with operational source, operational data source has raw data. Again, what we need to do in Oracle BI administration tool, we can apply the business rules. As a data modeler, apply the business rules to convert the raw data available in data source to the end user readable format. Who is our end user? Business users are the end users. Okay. Actually, there are two modes to work in Oracle BI administration tool. One is offline mode, another one is online mode. Okay, if you're new to this environment, for the first time, you started your work to design the models in Oracle BI administration tool. In which mode we can work in Oracle BI administration tool? Initially in offline mode. In offline mode, we can create logical models. Logically, you can derive the new metadata models in Oracle BI administration tool in offline mode only. In offline mode. Okay. That entire work is called as one repository. Okay, here what are the models we derived logically in one or more models. Okay, if you derived set of logical models in Oracle administration tool, that entire work is called as one repository. Okay, within that repository, we can derive the logical models and map those logical models with one or more physical models are available in the data source. The logical to physical mapping is there. This entire work is called as one repository. Technically, we can call that entire work is called as one repository. That repository was saved with the extension of .rpd. Okay, RPD stands for repository directory. Okay, we can create that repository in offline mode or modify the repository in offline mode only, and we can publish the repository in online mode. To create or modify the repository in offline mode, publish the repository to the server in online mode. Okay. Here we can work with operational data source, analytical data source. Already I told you here operational data source means raw data. That operational data source has raw data that is not available in your customized format. That too purely normalized data. Okay, we can get the normalized data from the operational data source, whereas from data warehouse we can get denormalized data. That too customized data arranged in analytical format. Data arranged in the data warehouse in analytical format like star schema, snowflake schema, galaxy schema. Okay, in different types of these schemas are designed by the data modeler in data warehouse like star schema, snowflake schema, galaxy schema. We can get the data in this kind of formats. Okay, if you are working with operational data source, that operational data source contains normalized data. Okay, that is ER models, entity relational models. If you are directly we are working with operational data sources that are having entity relational models. Operational data sources has entity relational models, contains normalized data. Okay, when we are working with analytical data source like data warehouse, we can get denormalized data already arranged in analytical format. See here, this is the BI administration tool. It is a desktop tool. Launch BI administration tool. Initially, one blank command prompt window was opened. After that, Oracle BI complete Oracle BI administration tool is opened like this. So first of all, if you want to start our work in Oracle BI administration tool, first of all, we need to know in which data source our required information is available. Data source means either data source means either RDBMS or files. Here our technology supports to work with RDBMS systems as well as file systems also. The RDBMS means Oracle, DB2, Sybase, SQL Server, even MS Access. These are all RDBMS systems. Okay. And non-RDBMS systems like file systems like flat files, XML files, Excel files. Okay, here we are working with non-RDBMS systems also. Okay, so most of the times we can get the data in the form of Excel sheet format. Okay, we can access Excel sheets also to our technology and derive the new metadata. Logically, we can derive the new metadata in one or more models from the existing metadata models are available in respective data sources. Here, metadata means a structure. Here, this is the development environment. In this development environment, always we are working with metadata only. No data needed during the development. Data needed during the runtime of the report only. While running the report, we can get the data from the database. The data is converted into business user readable format. Okay. While running the report only, we need data from the database. While working on this Oracle BI administration tool, we don't want to access data. Okay, we can access the databases to get only metadata only. Here we are working with metadata. In the database, metadata is physical. That is again converted into end user readable format. That is logical one. Logically derive the new metadata in one or more models in Oracle BI administration tool that are mapped with the respective physical models are available in available data sources, either operational data sources or analytical data sources, or they are available in either RDBMS format or files format. Okay. Here our technology supports to work with homogeneous as well as heterogeneous also. Here our technology supports to work with homogeneous as well as heterogeneous. Homogeneous means same database. We are working with the same database and the same schema called as homogeneous. Heterogeneous means if you are working with same database and different schemas means different users. Oracle database point of view, users. Schema is called as users. The Oracle database is a user-oriented system. Each user has one schema. If you are working with the Oracle database and one of the users are available in the Oracle database, that is homogeneous. If you are working with multiple users, that are heterogeneous. Multiple users of the same database, different databases, different systems are called as heterogeneous. Here we can work with homogeneous as well as heterogeneous also. Okay. Now we are in Oracle BI administration tool. I assume here our source system is Oracle database. And one of the source users are available in the Oracle database, for example, HR user. Here always we are working with existing sources only. We don't want to create our own sources. Sources are already available. Assume like that. Okay. We are working with existing sources only. So that sources contains metadata objects as well as data also. Sometimes 99% we can expect data also, metadata with data from the available data sources. Very rare cases we can get only metadata. While working with Oracle BI administration tool, you don't need to worry about the existing data sources contains data or not. If you have metadata, that is sufficient. Okay. Here assume here our source is Oracle database and the source user is HR user. HR user has employee details. Assume that user has employee details as well as their history of that respective employee available in the HR user. Then what we need to do, we can connect to the respective data source. Okay, each user is called as one data source for our technology. If you have two users in Oracle database, the two users are treated as two data sources. Data source means whether it is an RDBMS or file. And again, in a database, if you are working with one user, that is one data source for our technology. Each user or each schema is called as one data source for our technology. Okay. Now we are in offline. By default, Oracle BI administration tool is launched in offline mode by default. Okay, we don't want to start BA servers. Okay, if you're new to this environment, if you want to build a new project in our technology, we don't want to start BA services. We don't want to start them. You can leave them in offline. Okay, then start your work in offline mode using Oracle BI administration tool. Okay. Here we can build this semantic layer. In this Oracle BI administration tool, build this semantic layer. That semantic layer has set of logical models. Logical models are derived from the one or more models are available in the database in physical manner. Okay, I'll show you how to do that one. How to convert physical to logical. Okay, database is technical one. Why do we need to convert physical to logical here? Because of business users are non-IT people. Our employees who are working for business organization, they don't have any IT background. They have only business knowledge. They want to see their required information related to business in the form of reports. Okay, according to their requirement, what we need to do, we can convert technical structures of available data sources to the functional format of business users needs. Techno-functional. Here we can build the techno-functional system using Oracle BI administration tool. Here databases are available in technical format. Database accepts the request in the form SQL format. It accepts only SQL queries. Request in the form SQL query format. But business users don't know how to write the SQL queries. That's why here we can build the models in Oracle BI administration tool to convert technical formats to the functional format, techno-functional conversion. Okay, that is logical one. Functional conversion is logical one. Database models are technical one. And here we can derive the logical models using this tool comes under functional one, techno-functional. Okay. Because sometimes here if you want to verify here we are working with the database. We are not database developers. We are OBW developers. Okay, as a OBW developer, what we need to do? We need to verify, connect to the database. Here, our user is HR. Connect to the HR user available in the Oracle database. It is connected. Okay, we need access on database with necessary login credentials, and write the query like this. Select star from tab. Here we are working with tables, views, and synonyms. Our technology supports to work with tables, views, and synonyms also. So we know already we have some idea, right, in the database. Like
Yeah.
what is table? Table is a main database object. Okay, without table, we can't do anything in the database. Okay, on top of the table, you can create views, synonyms, procedures, functions, anything. Without table, we can't do anything in the database. If you want to store the information in the database, we need a table. Okay, table is the main database object. But here we can work with the tables, views, synonyms also. Table is a physical object. View is an imaginary object. And synonym is a alias table. It is an alias table. Okay. Permanent alias table created an original table available in the database to provide the security. You can see here when we can write a query like this, select star from tab. It lists out all the objects are available in the current user. What are the objects are there? We need to verify them. Okay, as a BA developer, we need to know what are the objects are available in the database, whether that objects are sufficient or not for the requirement. Okay, we're in a position to write some SQL queries also as per the requirement. Okay, if you are getting required result, when you can write a query in the database and various tables are available, if you are getting required result from that respective tables, then you can start your work to design the models in Oracle BI administration tool. Okay, here we have set of tables as well as views also there. Only one view available here. In our technology, tables, views, and synonyms are treated as tables only. In our technology, tables, views, and synonyms are treated as tables only. In the database, we can categorize them like tables, views, and synonyms like that. But in our technology, everything is treated as table only in our technology. Because of here, we are reading the data. We don't want to do anything in the database level. Okay, everything is available to us in read-only mode only. For our technology, everything is available in the database in read-only mode, not in read-write mode. That means reverse engineering. We can call that concept is called a reverse engineering. We connect to the database and import the objects to our environment and modify them to the business user readable format and generate the reports finally. Publish to the server and generate the reports finally. Okay, everything is available in read-only mode. Okay. During the development, we are working with metadata. During the runtime, we are working with the data. Okay. Now see here various metadata objects are listed in the database. Okay. Now if you want to import them to our technology, then what we need to do here, if you want to create a new repository, in Oracle BI administration tool, create a new repository. That repository has a set of logically derived metadata models from the one or more physical models are available in respective data sources. There is a logical to model mapping in our Oracle BI administration tool is called as one repository. Okay, we can call it as one repository. Okay. Now, if you want to create a new repository, then go to File tab. This is the new repository. Click on New Repository. Here in the first tab, we can provide the repository information. Okay, for example, here HR, right? Here we can provide the title like that. Okay, HR project, for example. I want to provide the name like this. It is saved at the server location. See here in the server, we have a directory that is a repository directory where the directory level our RPD file is saved. Always you can create a repository with unique name. Okay, always. So we can provide the location to save this repository, and here import metadata as no and MDS XML is there. MDS XML means if you are working with third-party systems like SAP BW, Hyperion SBase, then you can select MDS XML. Directly if you are connected to the databases, then you can select import metadata either S or no. S means if your source is available, then select S. Okay, our source is available. Here our source system is Oracle database and the source user is HR. Here our
What you
source
say
is,
this, sorry, just what you say MDS XMLs, from which source we can select?
Source in the sense third party application servers. We are connecting, not source.
Okay.
Integration. We are integrating with Hyperion SBase or MSBI, that is SSCAS, or otherwise SAP BW. Okay, if you are integrating with that respect to environments, then you can go for MDS XML. Okay, 99% we are working with direct databases only. Very rare case we are integrating with other environments. Okay.
Okay.
See here, import metadata yes or no is there. Okay, S means if source is already available, your required metadata objects are available within that respective source, then you can go for S. When you can go for no, if you don't have sources right now, maybe in the future we can get the sources. Then if you want to create an empty repository, if you want to reserve one unique name for the repository for future purpose, then you can select no. Okay. If you selected no, then empty repository is created. Within that empty repository, we can add the metadata content later. Okay. If content is already available, then you can go for yes. Actually, it is a data warehousing technology. Our technology, data warehousing technology, we can assume our entire information is available in one data source, that is data warehouse. Okay. Our technology, data warehousing technology, means we are expecting our entire information from the single data source, homogeneous data source, that is data warehouse. But our technology is supposed to work with other data sources also, a number of data sources. That means heterogeneous data sources. Okay, heterogeneous. In future, we can add other data sources to the existing repository also. There is no issue. There are no limits. If you have limits, that limit is a limitation for our technology. That's why there are no limitations in our technology. Our technology is integrating with a number of data sources. That's why it is an enterprise technology, OBIW. Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition. Enterprise in the sense we can fulfill all the requirements of the business organization, not for specific requirements. Okay. Okay, assume here our data source is available. Then we can select import metadata. Yes, we can import necessary metadata objects from the available data source. Here our data source is HR available in the Oracle database, and you can provide the repository password. Okay, size up to maximum. Minimum 8 characters, maximum a number of characters. Okay, alphanumeric, better to give alphanumeric. For example, HRMS 1234. I given repository password HRMS 1234. Okay, it is a password protected, compulsory password. We can give the password for the repository. From next time onwards, if you can open existing repository to apply the changes, password must be needed. We need to enter we need to remember that password, repository password. Click next. Okay, now here in the second step, we can select the data source. Here our data source is Oracle database. From the drop down list, you can select OCI 10G or 11G is there. OCI means Oracle Call Interface. Directly we are connecting to the Oracle database using our technology, 10G or 11G, and provide the data source name. Okay, we can get the data source. These details are provided by the database developers. ORCL, username is HR, password is also HR. Okay, click next. Okay, if user is active in the database, then only we can connect. Otherwise, it throws an error, login failed. Okay, here password is expired, or password is incorrect, username password is incorrect, or username is locked. Sometimes user is locked by the database administrator, then we can't log into the respective user. If password is changed by the administrator in the database, then we can't log in. Sometimes password is expired. Okay, here without giving new password for that user, we can't log in. Okay, here so many reasons are there. We are unable to log into the respective user available in the database. Okay. To see here in the third step, what we need to do, we need to select necessary metadata types. So what kind of the metadata types that we want to select to import from the selected user available in the Oracle database means tables. 99.99% we are working with tables, but sometimes tables has raw data. Okay, if you are working with the operational data source, that operational data source has raw data. Okay, in case within that operational data source, any views are created by the database developer in the database, Okay, why views are created by the database developers in the database? To get the customized data. If we can run the view, we can get the customized data. Okay. Before introducing our technology in existing environment, how business users getting their required results, customized results means they can run the views in the database through various application softwares, and they can get the required result in the form of reports within that application softwares. Now we are using our technology. We are introducing our technology to find out the permanent business solution for their business needs. Okay. Here we can work with tables that are available in the database. Okay, we can get the physical objects like tables. Keys means primary keys. Okay, every database table has one primary key to identify the rows in unique format. Okay, it is an uniquely indexed column. Primary key is an uniquely indexed column that is used to identify the rows in unique manner in the database. Okay, in any table. Okay, keys. And next one is foreign keys. Okay, if you want to generate the relationship between the tables while importing them from the database, then you can select foreign keys. But what happened if you selected foreign keys? System will take longer time to generate the relationship between the tables. System will take longer time. Okay, that's why here we don't want to recommend to enable the foreign keys to generate the relationships. In real environment, we have sufficient time to import the objects and identify the object types and apply the relationship between the objects after imported to our environment. Okay, if you enable foreign keys, system will take longer time to generate the relationship between the tables. Thus it is not recommended. Okay, and the system tables. Okay, if current user has system level credentials, okay, we are connected to the current user, that is HR user. If that HR user has system level credentials, we want to import the objects from the system level tables also. If we want to import system tables also, not only user tables. System tables means admin tables. At the admin level, if you have some tables are available in the admin level, if you want to import them, then you can enable system tables. Otherwise, we don't want to enable. If the required objects are available in the current user, not available in other users, then we don't want to enable system tables. Next, another one is aliases. Okay, if you enable this alias option, actually in the database we have synonyms. Synonym is a permanent alias table which is created an original table available in the database to provide the security. If you want to provide the security for the original table available in the database contains confidential data, then create a synonym on the table and give the permission to access the synonym by the front-end users for working in various application softwares, not only our technology. If you selected aliases here, so what are the tables you are importing? For example, I am importing some set of tables from the current user, like 2 tables I am importing. For the 2 tables, aliases are created. Alias is nothing but copy of the original table. Okay, alias is nothing but copy of the original table that is imported from the database. Okay, here right now it is not needed. When it was needed, I'll explain. So we can create aliases also after imported if needed. Okay, at present we don't want to create the aliases for the tables are importing from the database. We don't want to create. Next is synonym. What is synonym? Synonym is a permanent alias table which is created on confidential data tables are available in the database. Okay, if you have any synonyms, then we can import that synonyms from the current user to our environment. Okay, and views. At present, we don't have any synonyms. See here, we have list of objects are available, the HR user level. 1 minute. Yeah, see here we have tables as well. Only one view is available. Okay, if you enable views, here our Oracle BI administration tool tries to import views available in the database. Okay, view has customized data. If you want to get the result of that respective view as a report to the users, then we can import views also. Okay, if you don't want to import views, then we can uncheck it. Just we can import tables with keys. Okay, if you enable foreign keys, what happened? If you enable with foreign keys, okay, system will take longer time is fine. That is okay. That is one of the reasons. And another reason is in the database if you are working with the operational data source, that operational data source has normalized tables, and also different kind of relations are defined between that respective tables, like many-to-many relations, ternary relations, unary relations, different kind of relations are there. If you are working with the data warehouse, we can get only binary relations from the data warehouse. Whereas from OLTP database, that is operational data source, we can get different kind of relations. Okay, that relations are defined between the tables in the operational data source as per their transactional needs. Actually, operational data source is never designed for our technology. That is designed for existing system, that is OLTP system. Analytical data source is designed for data warehouse. If you are working with the data warehouse, then we can get required results that are defined between the tables available in the data warehouse in consistent format, not in inconsistent format. Whereas in OLTP data source, inconsistent means that are not available in our required format. Okay, like many-to-many relations, unary relations, as well as other relations are like ternary relations, different kind of relations are there. Actually, we are expecting binary relations only. From the database, we are expecting only binary relations. Binary relations are consistent one. If you have unary, many-to-many, ternary relations, that are inconsistent one. That relationships are defined between the tables available in the operational data source for transactions purpose. In the transactions point of view, no issue. But here we are retrieving the data. We need to read the data from the tables available in the data source. If we have relations like that between the tables and the database, so what happened here? We can get unexpected data. We are getting unexpected data from that respective relations. With respect to relations are available in the database. Okay. For data insertion point of view, no issue. But data retrieval point of view, there is an issue with the relationships, inconsistent relations. Okay. The relationships are different, joins are different. If you imported relations, that imported relations are defined in our technology as joins. Okay. That's why here we don't want to enable foreign keys. Just we can import only objects. After that, you can apply the relations as per the requirement. That's enough. Okay. Here I selected only tables and keys. Click next. Okay. Now here what we need to, here we have two views. One is data source view, another one is repository view. From this data source view, this is HR. This is HR. Okay, expand HR data source and select your tables. Okay, what are the tables are needed? Select them like this. Okay, we don't want to import all, import only required objects. Okay, we don't want to import all. Next, click on import objects here. Import selected objects. Here we selected required objects as per the requirement only. In real environment, we have requirement. Okay, we need to understand the requirement first. As per that requirement, in how many number of objects our required information is available, we can find them in the database. After that, import them to our environment. Okay. Here we are working with the persistent metadata. Here we can find out the permanent solution here. It's not temporary one. It is persistent. Metadata is persistent and the solution is also persistent. So that means here once we imported necessary metadata objects from the database, in case if any object is renamed in the database, that is not renamed in our technology. If any extra column is added in the object, that is not added in our technology. We need to rename it again, manually rename it, manually add it, manually modify it. Okay. Nothing is updated automatically. Metadata is always persistent. Metadata never updated. Data updated automatically during the runtime. Data updations are different. Metadata updations are different. Metadata updated manually. Data updated automatically. Okay. Now see here, while importing the necessary metadata objects, see here there is one window was displayed, that is connection pool window. Actually, connection pool is an interface. Actually, it is an interface. Here, why it was displayed right now? Here we need to verify it. We are connected to the database. Whether we are connected to the database correct or not, we need to verify it. So what are the login details are provided here. Whether these login details are correct or not, we need to verify it. Okay. Only for verification, this connection pool name is displayed to us. Okay. Now see here. Just you can password. Okay, click. Okay, it was closed. When we given password, then again it is a pop up to re-enter the password again for confirmation. Okay, once we given same password second time, then it was closed automatically.
Oh, it's taking time to export only 3 objects. It's if it's objects are more, then it will take too much time.
No. Actually, here based on system performance.
Okay.
Yeah. At least we need to allocate 8 GB RAM, but I allocated only 5.7 GB only.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, here totally 4 objects we added in the repository. You can find out them: departments, employees, jobs history, as well as jobs. Okay. Now click on finish. If you want to add another one, then you can add it. No problem. For example, if you want to add locations again.
In a repository, any point of time we can add any object, right?
Yes, we can add. Okay, if any new tables are introduced again in the data warehouse, then we can add them. No issue. Okay, when we can click on finish, the imported objects are listed in the physical layer under the data source, and that is ORCL. We need to rename it. We can rename this data source. Okay, you can give same name also, no problem. HRMS. And we can rename this connection pool also. Connection pool is an interface. It is used to connect to the database. Okay, with necessary login credentials are like data source name, username, as well as password. Okay, and at any point of time, we can add necessary tables again. If you want to add new tables, right click on connection pool, import metadata. Okay, here if you want to import required tables, then again we can load them. Actually, here HR data source is an operational data source. Okay, it is an operational data source. That's why here we can get normalized data. Tables that are importing from the HR user, all are normalized tables. What is the difference between normalization and denormalization? Normalization means if related data is divided and maintained in multiple relational tables in the hierarchical manner with the necessary relations. That is normalization. Denormalization means combine the relational data and maintain in a single table. That is denormalization. When we are working with the data warehouse, we can get denormalized tables. Okay. Actually, for the data warehouse, source system is operational system is a source system for the data warehouse via ETL tools like Informatica. At the staging layer level, build the transformation stage for extraction, transformation, and loading. What they are doing at the ETL stage level, they can convert the normalized data into denormalization. Okay, they can load the denormalized data to the data warehouse. If we are working with the data warehouse, if our source system is data warehouse, we can expect the denormalized data. We are working with the operational data source, that is normalized data. Here HR is a normalized one. I'll show you why it was normalized. Here I added 2 more tables. Click on finish. Two more tables that are also listed here. Okay, objects are displayed here in alphabetical order. Okay, not in database order. Everything is arranged in the alphabetical order only in our technology. Okay, these are the physical metadata objects are imported from the respective source database, that is Oracle database, and the source user HR user. Now, what is the next step here? Once we imported necessary objects, in between that objects, we can apply the relations. Okay, how to apply the relations here between the tables? First of all, we need to verify them. Which one is parent table and which one is child table. The parent table has primary key that is defined as a foreign key in another table. Okay, for example, expand countries table. Here we need to wait some time. We need to spend some time to verify the tables types like parent table as well as child table. See here countries table. The countries table has a country ID that is a primary key. See here the primary key symbol is there. It has primary key symbol. It is a primary key. Country is the primary key. Okay, here you can verify whether country ID is repeated in other tables. For example, locations. See here in the location table also location ID primary key. Here also we have country ID. Okay, country ID is not a primary key in the locations. That means one country has many states and cities as well as locations. See here we have states information as well as city information is available here. Okay, as well as location information is also available. Postal code as well as address is available. Okay, that means one country has many locations. One location has many departments. In that manner, relations are there. Okay, we need to spend some time to verify the table objects that are imported from the respective data source, like parent table as well as child table. So once we verified tables like parent and child, then apply the relations. Here we can build the physical diagram. What are the objects are imported? These are all relational objects. In between that objects, we can apply the relationships called as one physical diagram. Okay, how to apply the relationships while building the physical diagram means, here assume already we verified tables. Already we identified the tables as like parent tables as well as child tables. Already we verified. See here is the region table. Region table has only regions table has only two columns, region ID and region name. Region ID is the primary key, and it is repeated in countries table. It is not a primary key, means it is a foreign key. Region ID is the foreign key in the regions table, countries table. And again in the countries table, country ID is the primary key that is defined as a foreign key in the locations table. Okay, and again here each location has multiple departments. Here also we have location ID. Okay, so that means here each region has multiple countries, each country has multiple locations, each location has multiple departments, each department has multiple employees, and each employee has multiple designations. Okay, that is called a history. Multiple designation means not at same time. For example, one employee is joined as a clerk in one department. Okay, within the same department or he's in another department, he is promoted as a manager. Okay, after 5 years, he is promoted as a manager. That is the history was maintained in the job history table. Okay, based on the name of the table, we can identify that one as a parent table or not, based on the name of the table or based on the structure of the table. Okay, if you are unable to identify the table type based on the structure, then based on the relationship. Based on the relationship also, if you are unable to identify the tables types like parent as well as child table, in the last one, the last one is, what is that last one to verify them as like parent and child means with data records, the number of records available in each table, we need to verify them. Okay, here assume parent table has less number of rows and child table has more number of rows. Assume like that. Okay, that is a here in the that is the last one, final one. Okay, final one to recognize the tables as like parent table as well as child table with data. Initially based on the name. Okay, if you are an expert, if you have experience, then you can easily identify the tables based on the name. Each country has many locations, each location has many departments, each department has many employees, each employee has many designation means not at same time in different times. That is history. That history details are available in the job history table. In that manner we can identify them. Okay, otherwise based on the structure, we need to read the structure of the table. In that structure, each table has primary key. For example, one table has primary key. If that key is repeated in another table, but in the another table that is not defined as a primary key, that is a non-key column, then non-key column table is a child table and primary key table is a parent table. In that manner, we can verify them. Okay, we can verify the tables that are imported from the respective data source and apply the relationships. Okay. Okay, here if you want to know the records available in the table, how to know them, just right click on the table, click on update row count. We need to count how many number of rows are available in details. Okay, due to there is some issues there related to database. So maybe services are down, database services. Okay. Now here already we verified the tables as like a parent tables as well as child table. Then we can apply the relations. How to apply the relations? Then right click on the schema name. HR is the schema name. Okay, right click on it. Physical diagram. You can select any one of these options. So selected objects only, objects with direct joins, objects with all joins. The joins are not generated. That's why you can go for selected objects only. This is the physical diagram. In this physical diagram, what we need to do, we can apply the relationships. Okay, here already we verified which one is parent, which one is the child. Again, I can explain. See, here this is the employees table, and this is the departments table. Okay, already we verified each department has many employees. Okay, each department, one department, many employees. One means parent, many means children. Okay, each parent has one or more children. Each child has one and only parent. Each department has one or more employees, and each employee is working for one and only department. That means department table is a parent table and employees table is a child table. For example, if you are an employee, you are working for one organization. Your organization is a parent. You are a child. You are a child of that respective organization. Okay, there is a one-to-one relation. In a single organization, multiple employees are working. Okay, or in your organization, multiple departments are there. Okay, you are working for one of the departments. Okay, not only you, multiple employees are working in your department. The department is a parent, and you are the people are children for that respective department. Employees are comes under always children. Department is always parent. Okay. Here department table is a parent table. Employees table is a child table. Then how to apply the relationship between these two tables? Departments to employees means here, see here from this home tab menu bar, this is the new join option is there. Use this new join. First we can place the cursor on employees table. Employees table is a child table. Place the cursor on child table. Next, drag the cursor and leave the cursor on departments table. Then see here physical foreign key window displayed. Here we have a department ID in the departments table. It is a primary key, and here a department ID available in the employees table also. It is automatically identified because of name is same. If somewhat difference is there in the name of the respective columns, then manually can select them. Okay, this is the relationship. Departments.department ID is equal to employees.department ID. It is an equivalent join. Okay, you can apply the join like this. Okay, first we can place the cursor on child table. Next, place the cursor on parent table. In that physical foreign key window, select the common column and apply the relationship. Okay. Next, here each department has many employees. Okay, each location has multiple departments. For example, in your location related to your organization, multiple departments are there. Okay, that's why here multiple departments belongs to one location. Here departments table is a child table and the location table is a parent table. There is a location ID. Location ID is the primary key. The primary key of the parent table is defined as a foreign key in the child table. Okay. Next, here each country has multiple locations. Sorry. Okay, each country has multiple locations. That's why here location is a child table and country table is a parent table. Okay, always place the cursor on child table first, next place the cursor on parent table later, like this. And each region has multiple countries. Regions means Americas is one region has multiple countries. Americas means that is one region has two continents, South America, North America. Yes.
Excuse me, Rao, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
If the database is big and tables are, suppose we want to create a repository on very big reports, suppose multiple data is tables involved. So we have to do it manually or anything is
Manually, only manually.
all manually. There is no
Manual.
automatic.
Yes. Automatic means there is a foreign keys option is there, right? Once you enable foreign keys option, then relationships
Okay.
also generated between the tables.
Okay.
But here unwanted relations also generated. Yeah, unwanted relations also. Unwanted in the sense here, if you are working with the data warehouse, that is fine. You can generate relations also, no issue. But
Okay.
while working with the operational data source, unwanted relations means many-to-many relations, okay, unary relations, ternary relations, okay, different kind of relations are there. Here, these BI tools doesn't support to work with unary relations, many-to-many relations, as well as ternary relations. It supports to work with binary relations only. In case if you have those kind of the relations, we need to break them. Okay, we need to break that relations in our technology, not in the database. Okay.
Okay. No issue. Okay.
Yeah, see here how that relations are applied between the tables like this. See here, it is purely normalized. It is fifth normal form. Clearly can observe here 5 tables are there. 5 tables are joined together like this. Okay, here regions to countries, countries to location, location to departments, departments to employees. It is purely normalized. And this is the history table is also the history table. Here, if you want to see the information is available in the history table. Okay, one employee is working with different designations in different time periods, not at same time period, different time periods. Okay, that is history. Okay, that's. But here clearly you can observe here also employee ID, here also employee ID. Both are displayed like primary key. In our technology, not only in our technology, in BI technologies, it doesn't show the composite primary key. It never shows the composite primary key here. But there is a concept in the database that is composite primary key. Composite primary key means in the jobs table, in the job history table, this is the employee ID, right? Not only employee ID and start date also. Okay, when that employee is joined, that is start date, and resigned, that is end date. Again, promoted with a different designation, same employee. There is a start date again. Actually, start date is also primary key in the database. Start date is also, but it's showing only employee is the primary key. Actually, here there is a composite primary key in the job history table. You can verify in the database. There is a composite primary key defined on employee ID as well as start date also for the job history table. Okay, here. There is a one-to-many relationship from employees to job history table. Next here jobs table is also there. Okay, here one employee is working with different designations in different time periods. The details are available in the jobs table in unique manner. There is a job ID with job title is available here with minimum salary as well as maximum salary of the employee. Here in the jobs, this is already predefined. It is a reference table. Jobs table is a reference table. Okay, that's why here what we need to do here. Job history table is the child table for jobs also. There is a job ID in the jobs table, again job ID in the job history table also. Okay, you can define the relationship like this. Okay, that means here final table is job history table is the final table. There are 6 tables are joined together in the hierarchical manner up to job history, from regions to job history. Okay, this is purely normalization. Okay, relational data is maintained in multiple tables in hierarchical manner. That's why it is purely normalized data source. That means it is an operational data source. Okay, OLTP data source. We can call it as a OLTP data source. HR data source is a OLTP data source. Okay, this data source is designed not for our technology. Right now we are using our technology to work with HR schema available in the Oracle database. Before using our technology, this data source is working with OLTP data source, HR payroll applications. Okay, people who are working in the HR application, what they are entering, the details are inserted into these tables in the HR user level. Now we are working with that HR user to generate the reports. For report generation purpose, we are working with HR user, not for a transactions purpose. We never enter anything from our technology to the various tables imported from HR user. Okay, everything is available to us in read-only model, not in read-write mode. Okay, once physical diagram is completed in the physical layer, then what we need to do, we can derive one or more business models logical in the BMM layer from that respective physical diagram. Okay, once physical diagram created in the physical layer, then what we need to do, next step is, actually physical diagram is a relational modeling diagram. It is derived from respective data source. Here our data source is HR user. From that HR user, we imported set of objects. In between that objects, we applied relations. So once we applied a relationship between the various objects, that is one physical diagram. From that physical diagram, logically you can derive the one or more business models in the BMM layer. Here physical diagram is purely normalized one. It is a normalized one, normalized schema. Physical diagram is a normalized diagram. While working with the business model mapping layer, we can go for denormalization. To design the business models logically in the form of star schema. Okay, here physical diagram is available in any format. Most of the times data source format only. But while working with the business model mapping layer, we can go for denormalization. Always you can convert into analytical format. Okay, data sources are relational and are normalized. Then we can convert them into analytical format. If data already available in the analytical format, then we don't want to convert into analytical format again. Just we can arrange that models into end user readable format in the BMM layer and convert them into presentation layer as subject areas. The physical layer, physical diagrams. In this physical layer, connect to the n number of data sources one after another. We can connect to the n number of data sources one after another from the physical layer and build the physical diagrams. Okay, once physical diagrams are derived in the physical layer, whether that physical diagrams are operational or analytical. Okay, next step is derive the business models in the BMM layer. What is business model? Business model is a logical table diagram, which is logically derived in the form of star schema. What is star schema? Star schema means one fact table surrounded with multiple dimension tables. Here we can apply data warehousing terminology here. While working with the business model mapping layer, we can follow data warehousing terminology in this business model mapping layer. Okay, in the physical layer, we don't want to follow the data warehousing terminology. We can follow database terminology in physical layer, no issue. But while working with the business model mapping layer, we can follow data warehouse terminology. That means logically derive the business models in BMM layer as a star schema. Star schema is a data warehouse terminology. Okay, within the star schema, we can derive logical tables like fact tables as well as dimension tables that are arranged in the form of star schema in BMM layer. So once business models are completed in the BMM layer, then we can define them as subject areas in the presentation layer. In the physical layer, we have physical diagram contains physical objects that are imported from available data sources. In the business model mapping layer, we have logical tables. So logically, you can derive the business models in the BMM layer. Logically, you can derive them as per the requirement. Okay, if you are working with the operational data source, then what we need to do here, we can apply the business rules again. We need to apply the business rules in the BMM layer to convert into business user readable format. If you are working with analytical data source, we don't want to apply the business rules. We don't want to apply the business rules while working with analytical data source like data warehouse. Business rules are already applied in the ETL environment. That's why we don't want to apply business rules again. Just we need to arrange it into end user readable format as well as analysis format enough in BMM layer. After that, we need to make them as subject areas in the presentation layer. Okay. If you have any questions, then you can ask me. What are the steps we discussed up to now? Okay.
Okay. Right now, I don't have other. No. Okay, thank you, Rama. Rahul, thank you. Sorry. Okay, so we can
Good.
continue tomorrow. Okay,
Yes,
same
we can
time.
get it same time. Yes.
Just can
Same
I
time.
send you a WhatsApp number? I will contact you, okay? Because every
Yeah,
daily recording
you
you
can
can
contact
share.
with our concerned team, no issue. Okay, or otherwise you can ask them. Okay, you can ask them to
Okay,
create one WhatsApp group. Otherwise, okay.
no issue, no issue.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, خلاص.
Okay, I'll send you that. I'll send you this video link also, recorded video link also to you. Okay,
Okay,
just you can watch it, or otherwise you can download. Better to download it instead of watch it. Okay.
okay, خلاص, no issue.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
Okay, I'm
tomorrow we
ending this
start.
meeting. Okay, tomorrow at
Okay,
5.
خلاص.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Thank you. Bye.